Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to Power Foundation Fatima Farida Academy e-learning platform. I'm your facilitator Maridia Mustafa, and inshallah today I'll be taking you through mathematics for BS4. Our topic for today is rounding of whole numbers to the nearest tens, hundreds and thousands. Then inshallah, before we start with our lesson today, let's sing a song to warm ourselves up. So I'm counting one. What is one? One is one alone. Alone it shall be. I'm counting two. What is two? Two pair, compare, let us pair. One is one alone. Alone it shall be. I'm counting three. What is three? Three is 10 around two pair, compare, let us pair. One is one alone, alone it shall be. So you will continue at home. Now let's continue with our lesson. So our objectives for today is by the end of the lesson, learners will be able to round numbers to the nearest tens, hundreds, and then thousands. Now let's look at rounding to the nearest tens. So to round a whole number, to the nearest 10, you look at the digit in the ones place. You look at the digit in the ones place. And then if the digit is less than 5, you write the number and replace the ones digit with 0. But if the digit is more than 5, meaning 5 to 9, then you maintain the digit in the tens place and you maintain the digit, and in the tens place you do you increase it by 1. Now let's look at some examples to understand better. So I have 6,483 to the nearest 10. What is our digit, or which digit is in the ones place? It's 3. Because we have ones, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. So our 3 is in ones. Now to the nearest 10, you look, the 3, is it more than 5 or less than 5? Of course, 3 is less than 5. So what do? You maintain the 8, which is in the 10th digit or 10th place, and then you change the 3 to 0. So it becomes 6,400 and then 80. Now let's look at other examples. White screen. So to the nearest 10. So we are doing it to the nearest tens. Now, let me give other examples. So I have 7,488, 325, and let's also say 2,423. Now we are changing all these numbers to the nearest tens. The nearest tens, the key thing you must look at here is the number in the ones place. And what is the number? That is the first number on your right. So we have 8. 7,488. 8 is in the ones place. So is 8 more or less than 5? 8 is more than 5. So what do? We add 1 to the number in the tens place. So it becomes 7,400 and then 90. Why? Because 8 is more than 5. Now let's look at this. We have 325. So 5 is also 5. So meaning 5 to 9. So meaning we have to add 1 to the number in the tens place. And the number there is 2. So our answer now becomes 330. Because we have 5 there. It's not less than 5. And we have 2,423 here. 3, is it less than 5 or more than 5? Of course, 3 is what? Less than 5. So our answer becomes 2,400 and then what? 20, because our 3 here is what? Less than 5. Now let's continue with our lesson. So we are done with to the nearest 10. We are done with what? Rounding numbers to the nearest tens. Now let's look at rounding numbers to the nearest hundreds. Here is the same thing, but here we are rounding it to the nearest hundreds rather, not tens. So when rounding a number to the nearest 100, you look at the digit in the tens place. You can see the difference here. And when we were rounding in the nearest tens, we were looking at the digits in what? In the ones place. But to the nearest 100, we look at the digits in the what? Tens place. The digit in the tens place. Okay. If the digit is less than 5, meaning 0 to 4, maintain all digits and replace the digits in the tens with 0 and also the digits in the ones with also what? 0. So I have an example here. 6,327. Which digit is in the tens place? Let's look at it. Let's look at the digit in the tens place. 6,000 meaning it's in thousand. 300 meaning it's in what? 100. And 20 meaning it is in what? 10. So 27 is our number in the what? Tens place. And we are changing it to the nearest 100. And because this 2 is less than 5, what do? We maintain the numbers in the thousands and hundreds, and then we change the tens and then the 7 and the ones number with what? 0. So it becomes what? 6,300. Very simple. But if the number is more than 5, meaning 5 to 9, you add 1 to the digits in the hundreds place and you replace the rest with what? 0. Now let's look at some examples too. So let me first to the nearest 100. Hundreds. So to the nearest hundreds, let's look at some examples. So I have 6,342. Okay. Then I have 8,564. Now let's look at these two examples, how we can change them or how we can round them to the nearest 100. So 6,342. I have to look at the digit in the ones, in the what? Tens place. And what's the digit there? It's 4. Is 4 more or less than 5? Of course, it is what? Less than 5. So what do? We maintain the numbers in the thousands and hundreds and we replace what? The tens and ones with what? Zeros. So I have 6,300. And here I have 8,564. I look at my digits in the what? Tens place. And what is it? It is 6. Is 6 more or less than 5? Of course, it is more than 5. So what do? I add 1 to the digit in the hundreds place. It is 5. So now it becomes what? 6. And then I maintain this with what? 0. So it becomes what? 8,600. Very, very easy. Now let's move on. We are moving to what? To the nearest thousands. To the nearest what? Thousands. It's the same thing, but here, let's look at what we change or what we look at. When rounding the number to the nearest thousand, you look at the digits in the what? Hundreds place. So at first we started by looking at the digits in the ones place. That was when changing to the nearest 10. Then the digits in the tens place when changing to the hundreds or when rounding to the nearest 100. And now you look at the digits in the hundreds place when rounding what? To the nearest thousands. So if the digit is less than 5, you maintain all digits and you change the digits in the hundreds, the tens, and then the ones with what? 0. But then if it is more than 5, meaning 5 to 9. You add 1 to the digits in the thousands place, and then you change the digits in the hundred, tens, and then ones with what? 0. So now let's look at this example. We have 6,483. Which digit is in the hundreds place? Of course, it is 400, which is the 4 here. Is 4 less than 5? Yes, of course. 4 is what? Less than 5. So what is our answer here? It becomes what? 6,000. And here 2,864. We have 8 here as our digit in the hundreds place. Is 8 more or less than 5? 8 is of course more than 5. So what do? We add 1 to our thousand digits place, or to the number in the thousands digits. Then it becomes what? 3,000, because we maintain all this, or we replace all this with what? Zeros. Now let's look at some example. Oh, even this is okay. So without even looking at examples with this, we'll be able to solve it. So now let's look at assignments. So inshallah, I would like you to try your hands on these assignments, and then you send it to me for vetting. So round to the nearest tens. We have 4,381, 7,324. You round to the nearest hundred. We have 4,394, and then 6,638. And then you round to the nearest thousands. We have what? 2,260, and then 4,810. So inshallah, I would like to end with my lesson here. Jazakumullahu khairan, and hope to catch up with you soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.